Have you ever walked away from a conversation and immediately thought, why did I just say all of that? Maybe you overshared on a first date. Maybe you kept rambling during a job interview because the interviewer was staring at you. Or maybe you just agreed to do a massive favor for a coworker because the silence in the room felt too awkward to handle. If any of this sounds familiar, you are not alone. Human beings are biologically wired to hate silence. We view silence as a threat. So, we fill the void with words, nervous words, weak words. But what if I told you that by giving into that anxiety, you are actively giving away your power? Today, we are going to break down the dark psychology of silence. I am going to show you exactly why you speak too much, the subconscious reasons your brain tricks you into oversharing, and how you can use powerful psychological hacks to turn silence into your ultimate weapon. Welcome to US Dive In. To understand why we talk too much, we have to look inside the brain. Why is it so incredibly hard to just shut up? According to a famous study conducted by neuroscientists at Harvard University, talking about yourself triggers the exact same pleasure centers in the brain as eating great food or even getting paid. When you share your opinions, your brain releases a hit of dopamine. It is a literal chemical addiction. You start talking, you get nervous, you overshare, your brain gives you a dopamine reward, and the cycle continues. But here is the psychological trap. While you are getting a massive dopamine high from talking, the person listening to you is not. In fact, their perceived value of you is actively dropping with every unnecessary word you say. We talk to hide our anxiety. But in doing so, we expose our insecurities. Let us look at a real-life example. Imagine you are at a networking event. You meet someone successful, and you desperately want to impress them. You start listing your achievements, your goals, and your life story. You think you are building a connection, but psychologically you are signaling low status. You are working hard for their validation. The next time you are asked a question, do not answer immediately. Count to 3 in your head. 1, 2, 3. This tiny gap of silence does 2 things. First, it short-circuits your brain's anxious dopamine loop. Second, it subconsciously signals to the other person that your words carry weight. You are not rushing to please them. You are taking your time. People respect those who are comfortable in the quiet. In the world of high-stakes business and psychology, there is a golden rule: he who speaks first loses. Let me give you a real-life scenario that happens thousands of times every single day. You are sitting in a job interview. You have crushed the questions. Finally, the hiring manager asks, "What are your salary expectations?" You say, "I am looking for $80,000. Then the hiring manager does something terrifying. They do not say a word. They just look at you, maybe look down at their notepad, and remain completely silent. What happens next? Panic sets in, the silence stretches for 4 seconds. 5 seconds. Your brain screams that they think $80,000 is too high. So, unable to handle the pressure, you break the silence. You say, "But, I am flexible. I could probably do $70,000 depending on the benefits." Boom, you just lost $10,000 a year because you could not sit in silence for 5 seconds. The hiring manager did not say no. They did not even negotiate. They simply weaponized silence. Your own psychological need to fill the void did the negotiating for them. When you state your price, your boundary, or your standard, shut your mouth. Bite your tongue if you have to. Maintain soft eye contact and let the silence sit in the room. Force the other person to deal with the discomfort. 9 times out of 10, they will break first, and they will reveal their true hand. Silence is a vacuum, and people will rush to fill it with concessions. Let us talk about basic economics. The law of supply and demand dictates that the more abundant something is, the less valuable it becomes. Dirt is cheap because it is everywhere. Diamonds are expensive because they are rare. This exact same psychological principle applies to your words. If you are always talking, always commenting, always offering your opinion on every single little thing, your words become dirt. They are cheap. People stop listening to you because your voice is a constant ambient noise. But think about the most powerful person, think about the quiet leader in a meeting room. They sit back, they listen, they observe while everyone else argues and tries to prove how smart they are. Then, at the very end of the meeting, the quiet person leans forward and speaks. What happens? Everyone shuts up, everyone listens. Why? Because their words are scarce. Scarce words are highly valuable. Robert Greene talks about this in his famous book, The 48 Laws of Power. Law number 4 is, always say less than necessary. When you say less than necessary, you create an aura of mystery. People cannot predict what you are going to do. You become harder to read, and by default, you appear more intelligent and more powerful. Over-explainers are viewed as weak. Under-explainers are viewed as authorities. So, how do you actually practice silence without seeming weird, rude, or socially awkward? How do you keep a conversation flowing while letting the other person do the heavy lifting? You use a psychology hack perfected by former FBI hostage negotiator Chris Voss. It is a combination of silence and a technique called mirroring. People love to be heard, and they love people who listen to them. When someone is speaking to you, simply become a mirror. Instead of waiting for your turn to talk and in the conversation, simply listen. Wait for them to pause and then repeat the last 3 words they said with an upward questioning tone. Let us look at a real-life example. Or friend says, man, I have been so stressed at work lately. My boss is driving me crazy. You reply, driving you crazy? They say, yeah, he keeps giving me these impossible deadlines on Friday afternoons. You reply, Friday afternoons? Notice what is happening here. You are barely speaking. You are using 3 words and then going completely silent. But to the other person, you feel like the greatest conversationalist in the world. They will keep talking, they will keep revealing information, and they will feel a deep psychological bond with you. All because you had the discipline to stay quiet and let them shine. Silence is not empty, it is full of answers. But it takes immense discipline. It goes against our biological urge to be loud and to be noticed. So I have a challenge for you. For the next 24 hours, I want you to practice the art of strategic silence. When someone asks you a question, wait 3 seconds before answering. When someone finishes a sentence, do not immediately jump in with your own story. Just nod, maintain eye contact, and let a few seconds of silence hang in the air. Watch how quickly they scramble to keep talking. And, most importantly, stop volunteering information that nobody asked for. You will be shocked at how differently people start treating you. You will command more respect, you will seem more confident, and you will finally stop giving away your power. If you found value in this video, do not just say so. Prove it by hitting the like button and subscribing to the channel. We explore the dark psychology of human nature every single week. Stay quiet. Stay powerful. I will see you in the next one.